honestly, people have really been clamoring for us to attach a podcast to the brand for a couple years now. And, I feel like this is kind of a natural progression for us.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in a space where, and it's kind of unfortunate to even say this, but, niggas don't really read like they used to, and it's unfortunate because we have a lot of great writers out there, putting out great material, but we live in an age where, people don't want to have to drop everything they're doing, you know what I'm saying, to kind of dedicate their time to something.
Yeah.
So a podcast, well, for us, is definitely the perfect progression. I feel like it's time. So I'm really glad that you guys are here. I'm really glad that we were able to get this thing off the ground. And I want to propose a toast.
All right.
Let's
to
do
the
that.
success of the very first episode of the Best in the Mix podcast.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
All
Drink
right.
to that.
Cheers.
Salute.
There it is.
All right. So, let's go ahead and get right into the topics here for today. The first topic, this is going to be kind of a softball one, but I'm saying it might go longer. The first question I have is, why can't New York hip hop get its shit together?
Wow.
And the reason why I say it like that, I didn't want to say, why has New York fallen off? Because it hasn't really fallen off. Those of us that know that there's a lot of talented acts out there. We got the Beast Coast with Joey Badass, Pro Era, you know what I'm saying, the underachievers. They're out there doing their thing. Even, veterans like Fabulous continues to drop mixtapes that are pretty much albums. Stay Fly. What I want to do is, man, I want you to touch on that a little bit because this is kind of your realm. This is what you grew up on. You love the golden era of hip hop. You've watched the progression into what we have today.
Right,
so just touch on how you feel about the state of New York hip hop in general.
Well, New York, I think, it's the Mecca. So I think the bar is always very high for them. I think the spotlight has moved a few times in the last decade or so. The South has been doing a real big push right now, and they sort of dominated the mainstream market. But when you're looking for that good feeling, you're looking for them lyrics, you're looking for the bars, you're looking for the production, you're looking for the overall package, New York is still where it's at. Like you said, Twan, we know where to look, but unfortunately, the majority of the population does not know where to look. When it's being flooded, cookie cutter music and beats and 16s and the hooks.
It's unfortunate.
So yeah, you have to dig. You have to dig much harder than you had to dig back in the day.
Yeah.
Like you said, we got, the pro era, the whole campus doing great. All young kids, they are 25 and under. You got
And they were raised right.
Right. And they representing, they holding that torch. You got the Euro Droog. I think he real big. I think I'm a huge fan of his. He sounds like Nas, of course, so I'm obviously very partial to that. But I think the boy has stepped out that shadow and really making a noise and making a name for himself. But the biggest issue, I think, is just the flood of noise that we now have to filter. Back in the day, you go to the store, you go to your Tower Records, you cop an album, it's going to be beast. But now you got to dig through the social media, you got to dig through the YouTube, you got to dig through the SoundCloud, you got to dig through all these other quicker outlets that now everybody has access to. So it's still there, like you said, man. But it's just, it's like a hoarder's house.
Yeah,
you got to go through all that.
It's just different. It's just different. It makes me think, what led to the game evolving in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, what watered down New York? What forced them? But I guess you kind of got to attribute that to the state of mainstream hip hop and how everyone is kind of leaning toward that same cookie cutter sound. What would have to happen in order to kind of bring New York back to prominence?
It's just too easy right now. Everybody's a rapper. Everybody knows a rapper, right?
Yeah.
Either you a rapper, or you know a rapper, or you know someone who knows who's a rapper. It's too easy right now. When you're talking about the golden era, you're not just talking about the sound. You're not just talking about the style. You're not just talking about the lyrics, the production. You're talking about the heart. And
That's a good point.
you get that heart through trials and tribulations. You got to go through that hardship. They don't just give out.
Got it too easy these days.
You don't just give out diplomas. You don't just give out diplomas. You got to put in your years,
Yeah.
and you got to pass all the
Yeah.
courses, and you got to respect the culture. So it's just too easy right now. That's how I feel. I think it's everybody got a mic, everybody got a YouTube page. When back in the day, you had to sling your mixtapes out the trunk of your car.
Literally.
Yeah, and this is we can go back to 2001. That's not that long ago, but 2001.
Anything before the digital era.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think I think that's been the internet is great, but it's just caused a free pass, like an easy pass, straight through, no traffic, no headaches, no nothing.
I think another problem actually is the fact that we're not really crediting originality anymore. It's so easy. I like the way you sound. If I can copycat that sound, I'm going to do it. And so many people out here like, ooh, I like the way that rapper B sounds. He sounds just like rapper A. That's cool. I like rapper A, so I'm going to go ahead and co-sign on rapper B. And then you get rapper C, D, all the way down to Z. Everybody sounds the same, whether it's your tone, if it's your flow, your lyrical ability style, whatever the case may be. You got so many rappers out here that sound just like other. Case in point, this whole Future and Designer mess. All right, but honestly, you know how long it took? I think Panda was already #1 on the charts before I found out that wasn't Future's song.
And I'm the exact same way. I'm telling you, honestly, because I was introduced to that song when I heard the Kanye album. I hadn't actually heard Designer's version. I heard Kanye, and I'm like, this is the hottest Future verse I've ever heard in my fucking life.
Yeah.
I'm like, this shit is hot. I usually don't rock with Future like that, but I'm like, this shit. I'm like, whatever he's doing, he stepped his own game up.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until weeks later a coworker came to me, and he was like, yo, you heard this new Designer track? And he put it on. I'm like, oh yeah, that new Future. When he said the word designer, I thought he was talking about designer clothes.
Yes.
I didn't know that he was talking about a fucking artist.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you really mean to tell me there's another motherfucker that sounds exactly like this dude?
Yes.
We live in an era where there's a lot of copycats, but they don't sound exactly like somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I hope Designer is given props to his inspiration. Even though I don't really care for Future, you gotta acknowledge that this is the nigga you grew up on, and this is what you know. Don't be trying. I hope he's not trying to take the shit for his own now.
He's not giving props to Future, but at the same time, he's not necessarily he's not claiming that he stole the sound. The way he's putting it is that he just so happens to sound like Future.
He's dodging the shit.
You gotta ride the wave, man, when you get it. You gotta ride the
And
wave.
that's what
it
he's
is.
doing.
Well,
I mean, he's signed. He's with Kanye now. You know?
Hey, man, I mean, you know what, man? I can't discredit anybody who get up there and try to put, what they can out there. But in my opinion, it was definitely musical plagiarism, if you want to go with it, if you ask me. I mean, now, let's be honest, man. Like Future, everybody expected to be Future, but it's not. And, I mean, for me, you just can't copy my man like that. I mean, I know everybody may not be Future's taste, but Future, have a taste for him, but Future's creative. You know what I'm saying? He's unique. When he came out, nobody else was really getting it like that.
I'll give you that, yeah.
Same thing with Migos. The same thing with a lot of cats from the South. Now, there's a whole lot of, people who do sound the same. But I got to give credit where credit is due. I mean, Future, I don't really got him sweating like that because he can come up with another flow, another track, another hit just like that. I don't know. So, I mean, we're going to have to wait and see what Designer do. I mean, right now, it's #1 right now. Got to give, props to his team and to him for executing the copycat, if you will. But, I mean, for most people, man, that's what it is. That's what it's all about nowadays, man. You get that one hit and they want to ride the wave. They want to ride it. To me, going back to what you was talking about with New York and just how the sound is right now and what's going on, it's just no patience. There's no patience right now. Artists don't have the patience to really work on being lyrical or making music that really connect with people. I mean, I got so much respect for, the Kendricks and the J. Coles because you can sense the patience. Now, they also happen to be very good at what they do. Let's just call it what it is. Not everybody can be Michael Jordan out here. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody can be Kobe. Not, some people will settle just to be Gilbert Arenas out here on the beach. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they'll take what they can get. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, it's not about discrediting people, but just like my man Stay Fly was saying, I mean, you got so many artists out there, and you got so many avenues to check off what Twan Johnson was saying in the beginning. Nobody got time nowadays or to want to sift through all of that. I think you get about 3 artists and you're like, let me just get what's on the radio right now or who I already know. You know what I'm saying? And the radio, it does play a huge part on it. Cause I listen to the radio. I ain't gonna lie. I ride around in my car all the time, listening to what's in right now, and not necessarily everything. I be vibing with, but I always try to show respect to the artists out there getting it. But blatant plagiarism jobs like Panda, it definitely make you just be like, all right, come now, you're not gonna fool me on that one. All right, I mean, come on, you can't get me on that one. But I mean, to just kind of cap it off. When you got all of these, so-called rappers, so-called producers, because it's the same thing on a producer level. When you got some of your original stuff, what are these cats coming in? Nah, I want that Panda. I want that Panda.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want that Future sound. They're not really ready to branch out because, for real, they trying to compensate for what they don't have lyrically, theme-wise, creative-wise, and it's just tapped out right now. We looking for that juice. And we getting water right now.
You know what? If I can try and offer a quick answer to that question, microwave raps.
Okay.
That's what's going on right now. You got microwave raps. New York, like you said, is the birthplace of hip hop. All right. Even did an article on it, the Pioneer Series. Exactly. It's the birthplace of hip hop. But what made rap so outstanding for people was the fact that someone could tell a story and be so original. Their sound, their voice, their flow, everything could be so original. But now, because we have all these microwave raps, let me throw this production in there real quick, pop it out, ding, and then everybody can jump on it. Everyone sounds the same. You know what? It's quick. It's quick serve. All right? Golden Corral. It's a quick serve rapping. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. So the problem is because everyone wants to jump on stuff and wants to sound like everybody else. Hey, he's hot right now. Like you said, I want to sound just like him. Let me get that sound. He's hot right now. Let me sound just like him. But the problem is, it's so hard for these lyrical cats out here to continue to shine because the consumers don't give a damn anymore. It's hard. Consumers don't give it. I got a 12-year-old son. And when he's like, oh, Dad, you heard that new, I don't know, some cats. And I'm like, I don't know who the heck that is. He's like, here, well, listen to the song. And I listen to him, like, that sounds like something else. Yeah, it sounds a lot like, but no, this is different.
You start to lose track of the artist.
Yes. Yes, they all sound the same. And then everyone knows that, unfortunately, in this day and age, it's all about the production.
But at the same time, it's a business. So you gotta make your money. You gotta do your singles. You gotta do your hits. But also, reserve those times, like you said, because nobody wants to read books anymore. Just the same thing. Nobody want to listen to whole albums no more. Let's just call it for what it is.
Yes.
Nobody wants to do that anymore.
They want the 18-track.
No.
Double.
All you gotta, they want
People
directions.
A quick single.
Yeah, they'll be like, hey, look, these are the 3 hottest tracks on the CD, and they'll go straight to that. Won't even bother listening to anything else. You know what I'm saying? You gotta guide your consumers to what you want them to do.
That has to piss fucking artists off.
Oh man,
all the work they put into what they do, man.
It definitely does, man.
Good Lord.
Older established artists, it pisses them off.
Well, but
new
even
cats,
because even current artists make albums. You know what I'm saying? They're not only dropping singles.
I really don't feel like as much work goes into making these. I really don't. I don't feel like as much work is going into making these albums. I really don't. So it's like, okay, yeah. Now, of course, I'm generalizing here, but I feel like the artists that are out today, the new crop, if you will, and I know I sound like an old fogey saying all this, but the new crop of artists today don't put as much work and heart into their entire project, as opposed to putting a lot of effort into what they know are going to be their hit singles because they're following a formula.